It's a nice day out again today. Trees are starting to blossom. Trees are starting to get leaves on them again. As you can see, trees are starting to get leaves on them again down the street. Except that tree right at the front of our house. It'll get there. It's grown that far so far. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll get leaves on it soon enough. But I had a driving lesson just before. Go for my driving test in about 4 days. Yeah, I think I'll do okay. There's get a bit nervous or overcautious when going into those spots where you've got a place in the middle of the road where you got to go in there and go 90 degrees in the middle of the road and then merge in from there. Yeah, not my favourite manoeuvre, but those spots are there for a reason. I should make a call eventually to see if I can get my forklift license back, because years ago, well, probably about 10 years ago, no, probably more 15 years ago, the laws changed and forklift licenses had an expiry date. Where when I got my license, it was before they had an expiry date. And I liked the cards back then you got too. They looked like little kids' driver's license cards thing, like a fake driver's license, but it was a forklift license. Now they probably look completely different. But I lost that card a number of wallets ago. Lost my wallet a few times. But yeah, that was many years ago. Before that, throughout the 90s, I drove a forklift for many years. I didn't even have a license. It was only after I left that job, went working in a computer warehouse, started out doing store work and then working in the RA department doing warranty claims, as you do in a returns authorization department. And then I eventually went back to TAFE for a couple of years, and then I wanted another job. I applied to a lot of jobs, but in the end it was just easier to go for a job in a store that required a forklift license. So I went for my forklift license, got that easy enough, because so much experience driving a forklift for years. Yeah, I got that forklift license, and within about a week or so I got another job. So it was worth having, because I had that job for a number of years, until about 2009. I quit that job, not because I wanted to leave the job, but because I lost my driver's license, and I was doing a lot of deliveries and stuff for that job, and I felt I wasn't doing good for the company if they were stuck with me without a driver's license, so I resigned. I then went on to a desk job, so I went straight on to another job, which I'm very grateful for, the company that took me on, which led to the job that I've got now, which after about 5 years there was a couple of changes in management, and I was getting flown to other countries and seeing the world, which I'm most grateful for. I just stuck it out and been there for over 7 years now. It doesn't feel like 7 years, but when I look back, there's only one other person in that office that I work at who was there the same day that I started. Everyone else has moved on, but I'm still there. I enjoy it. I enjoy that job. Of course, there's lots of little stresses and dilemmas, but after so many years of other jobs, it's no different anywhere else. It's actually become much easier doing that job over the years. There's a lot less stress now, because I was dealing originally with home users, and now I'm dealing mainly with businesses. So with a business, you may have lots of computers that may have the same trouble, whereas previously you got lots of separate people or home users, all with their own unique little difficulties with their own particular computer. At the same time, if you don't fix the problem with the business, you could potentially be involved in losing a big deal for the company, which is a different type of stress, I guess, different type of dilemma, or sort of the same dilemma but at a larger extreme. But you're dealing with a lot of people who know what they're doing. They know how to use the computers. They know they're not just... Well, there's a difference between someone who knows how to drive a car and someone who knows a bit of mechanics. And you're dealing with a lot more people who know the mechanics. But you don't have to be an automobile mechanic to know how to drive a car. When you're dealing with the home users, there's a lot more. Though each customer has a lot less computers, there's a lot more people you're dealing with, and they're all users. They're all driving their cars, as it were. They know how to use the software that they know how to use, that they want to use, which is essentially what the machines are for. They're tools. You know how to use the tool. You may not necessarily pull apart your hairdryer and know how to fix it, but you know how to switch the hairdryer on and use it. Computers can be a lot more complex than that. These people are not dumb, they just don't know how to pull these things apart and put them together. But there's other things that they do. Someone may know how to pull apart a whole steam engine and know how to put it together, and they'll leave you for dust in knowing how to do that. But they may not know how to pull apart a computer and put it back together. But that's gotten easier over the years. Most people just pull out a card and put it back in again. There's no soldering and stuff anymore with computers. Not generally. There'll be those who still do, but you don't see much of it these days. It's just, oh, that doesn't work, I'll just get another card and plug it in. Then the software industry drives the industry just as much as the hardware industry. And they pretty much virtually one in the same. Both sides dictate each other on what the next moves will be, what the next developments are aiming for, etc. And in a society such as where I live, computers dictate much of your life. It's very hard to get on without one. I mean, even homeless people on the streets have all got smartphones, because it's just so much more convenient just to get things done. I know someone lives not far from here, it's down the road. Doesn't have a smartphone, doesn't have a computer, doesn't have anything like that. His girlfriend does, who he lives with, and that's pretty much the only way to get in contact with him is through his girlfriend. But I'm friends with them both. I have been for years, though I haven't spoken to him probably in about a year and a half was the last time I saw him. They're only just not far from here. I know where they live, I should just go down there and visit. But not right now. I've got someone else I'm expecting to turn up in about, I don't know, about an hour, 2 hours, something like that, to go to I think it's Raj's Omelette Restaurant, I think it's called, in Hawthorne. All Indian inspired dishes based around eggs and omelettes, which would be interesting. 2008. Years ago, I thought by now, due to all the sci-fi and fantasy stuff I was watching and reading and so forth for many years, I was looking forward to by now just being a domestic user of flying into space. But that hasn't happened. A bit disappointing. Not that I haven't seen a lot of advancements over those years. Mostly, a lot of incorporating computers into devices and making things more convenient that way. But they're going to start a space program in Australia, one of the latecomers to the space industry in having their own space station. Very much a latecomer for a reasonably developed country. I hope it goes well. But it's, we live in a very profit-driven economy. So it's a matter of it being able to pay for itself somehow. Now when you think about it, it's the attainment of minerals and stuff like that that really drive that sort of economy. And, well, there's a lot of space in between each planet. That's why they call it space, obviously, because there's a lot of space there. So you've got to rely on discoveries and technologies you develop, or things you can develop here that you would use to get into space that can be used here as well. That's going to drive the industry locally, where all the people are, where all the economy is. So it's not really until they feel the need to colonate somewhere else or build something that will make it profitable to bring that resource to here and bring resources to there as well. You don't want it all going one way, because it won't. It's like you build a train station somewhere in the middle of nowhere, but there's something there to get, that people will go there and live there, and they'll want resources from other places to share with them, and then they want to share their resources back, and they can trade. My face is looking pretty red. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I was watching an episode of Space 1999 just before. Season 2, Episode 1. It's got Brian Blessed in it. I like watching things with Brian Blessed in it. He's a good actor. He really sticks out whenever you watch an episode with him. He's a good actor to watch. In fact, I don't think I've ever watched anything with Brian Blessed in it that I haven't liked. He really does add an extra element to anything he's ever been in. I'd say that's why he's been in so many TV shows and movies and things.
Let's go, Sean! Wait for me!
Kids playing outside. Should be more of it. Should be much more people just outside exercising and doing stuff. I'm sure that it will happen. It used to be like that, and then sort of the whole computer thing took over, and people spend most of their time indoors nowadays. Well, occasionally people are actually getting out again, which is a good thing. When I was in Turkey a couple of weeks ago, you saw a lot more, say, kids out on the streets, just playing and doing stuff, sticking their hand up to high-five people as they go by in their jeeps and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that's really good. People are outside. They're outside doing stuff. Other than just going out to shop, they're just out. outside of their abodes. We all like to hide in our little abodes. Ah! These guys still take bank cards.